Hortafarmer is in Warsaw, in Poland now, at a castle of the king who was the last to fight Turks. And I'm here with Professor Łukasz Łuczaj, and he's an amazing person. Like I should have 1 hour video, but we'll keep it short because I will link you to his channel, and you can see many videos from his channel, and then please subscribe it. So Łukasz is an ethnobotanist, I would say grand old man already, even though not too old, but in this field, and he has studied loads of different cultures and traditions and history in Eastern Europe especially, but all over the place.
Also in Asia.
Yes, that's what I mean, all over the place. So we Horta hobos, we go around. We're interested in everything. And this book, I can recommend it, and it's telling about different plants and cooking principles and what children liked and what they didn't like and these type of things. It's very good. Tell me about, like, when did you got interested in these wild plants? Maybe as a child.
As a small child, because I heard stories about the Second World War and the food shortages, and how my grandmother had to eat Henopodium album, the goose food, when they didn't have other food. And then my aunt was telling me stories. She told me how to make nettle soup, and she offered me some nettles. She collected nettles.
Yes,
so
yes.
when I was 3, I had nettle soup.
One of the things is these oaks. You love oaks in addition to all sorts of plants. Tell me about your oaks forestry.
The oak story. I love oaks. I have a big, we could say, permaculture garden, food forest in Poland, in the Carpathians, for the last 28 years. But the key feature is the oak trees. I planted nearly 30 species of oaks. And once I got in touch with the spirits of oaks, and they told me that, I won't tell you how I did it, but it happened. And they told me to make a holy grove and plant as many species of oaks in one place as possible. So, because in ancient Europe, holy groves of oak were very common. It was like the key feature of the pagan European religion. So I want to restore it. And also, but also the formative person in my interest in nature was my grandfather, who loved gardening. So he would train as a gardener as a child, as a teenager. So he had a beautiful garden. He told me how to clip hedges, how to plant beans, and he told me a lot of stories about nature. But later on, I got interested in plants when I was 12, and I started making a herbarium. And then when I became student of Warsaw University, in the 3rd year, we had a subject called practical botany. And everyone had to choose one topic to prepare for, like, a presentation. And I chose foraging.
All right. What year was that?
Oh, it was 1991, maybe.
This is interesting how you were lucky to have these grandparents, because in Finland that used to be the case, but now it's the tradition is dying because they don't know anymore of the nature, and they are playing golf in Marbella, so the kids don't even have grandparents to take them to nature. So, and by the way, I have a project which might be interesting in Poland to teach voluntary retired senior men who have no grandchildren and no work anymore. They have emptiness in their life, and I'm training them to be a real, like the kindergartens, to be like
in Poland?
No, in Finland. To have a nature grandfather,
and
adopted to the kindergarten, and they do voluntary work, no cost for society.
What an amazing story!
And I'm a vocational teacher by profession and a specialist in pedagogy, so I will teach them with multisensory techniques to open up the nature in a new way, very young, before age of 6 preferably. And these men, they get a new life because they normally die in 1 year of heart attack when their emptiness fills them after they quit the job. But so we need grandparents and also to teach grandparents and to understand how important this is, because parents are too busy doing the...
I mean, this is crazy now with these small families, nuclear families, that often, like, parents fight and they get divorced and something, and kids don't have a connection to older generation, to extended family.
This is a big problem. It doesn't look like big, but it's like repeating it and These
Yeah.
kids, they just get nuts, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get back to wild food more generally, because we had, like a month ago, we had a retreat in Finland with both Polish and Hungarian people, and I could realize, I've seen it before, like every 20 meters when I drive in Poland, there's car parked and people are going with their baskets, that
Yeah.
Polish people are nuts about mushrooms. Like, I have never seen this like frenzy. And we are going to have this next year, August again, this retreat with connecting mushrooms with horta, because that's missing everywhere. Like how to put them better together with wild fish and game meat. And
I think Northern Slavs is the epicenter of mycophilia in the world, you know. The Poles, Czechs, Slovaks, Ukrainians, Belarusians, and Russians. More than the Southern Slavs. All these nations, they equally love mushrooms, and depending on the area, in some areas people collect more species, in some areas they collect 5 or 10, in some areas 30 species.
And Italy is restricted, not in Finland, like take as much as you want.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, these nations that, like in the Holland, it's, you know, banned. In Germany, you can collect some small amount. It's crazy because it doesn't really affect nature if you go and collect fruiting bodies. So it's like harmful to the society. In Poland, you can collect as many mushrooms as you want, and there are still plenty
and
every year.
It's a double effect, because if you go to nature, you lower your stress in 15 minutes. So people should do that. Not buy from the market, it's good too, but go pick yourself.
I also wanted to add that I had a PhD student, Marcin Kotowski. He now works in the Botanic Garden in Warsaw, very near here, and he studied the mushroom gathering in this area, in Warsaw area, in Mazowsze, and he recorded 78 species of mushrooms collected traditionally in this area, which is the largest number of mushrooms recorded anywhere in the world as traditional food. So you came to the Mecca of mushroom gathering. Yeah,
Mecca of mushrooms. I like that.
Hortafarmer made this gig in Palace of Wilanów with Professor Łuczaj and Kasia Bruczynska, who is a forest bathing guide in Warsaw and works with me. We went in with Professor Łuczaj's connections when the palace was closed, and saw also a workshop for young people to cook food, and this is very nice to teach them this in a nice place. And we also visited this secret garden for all sorts of plants and of course horta, and we are planning to have a horta cooking day here in April 2026.